Hello and welcome to another episode vlog. Today is an interesting one. It's a subject I constantly think about because I do own a 996 and I'm fascinated by the model lineup and the C4S in particularly. So there's always little quirks and little design features that I'm constantly thinking about and highlighting in different aspects of my stories and on Instagram or on YouTube. So I'm gonna highlight a few features. Today's format is gonna be a little different because it's gonna encompass also quite a few footage that I'm gonna share with you guys of a different model lineups of the Porsche lineup history from the 995 pre and onwards as well to the current generation 992. So yeah, I think hopefully it'll be an interesting one. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and yeah, let me know what else you want to see. I have a few videos lined up for next week, but yeah, I'll be interested to know what you want to watch. So drop it in the comments, do like and subscribe, and hope you guys enjoy watching this. So there are two design features that I'm going to discuss today in this video that I think contribute to the iconic design status and overall legendary classic features of the 4S, and that is the very beautiful, very famous red strip in the back. I just think it's just one of those immediately eye-catching features of the rear of the car. This is very traditional, so I'm interested in tracing back the history and when this started, and this will be in this very car that you see, and that's in 1974, between 1974 and 1976, a 1912E. This was purely an American made car, and that's where the iconic red strip as we know it appeared. And as you see, what I love about it is that from the brake lights all across, it's one line continuous that runs throughout the rear of the car, just enhances the overall appearance. And it helps create that lineage between the different models, all the way from the 912 to the 964 and the 993 that you see here. And it helps bond them all together and to keep that tradition alive, which I think Porsche has done so well over the last few years. Me, however, that red light is solidified in an iconic status with its appearance on the sporting legend, the 959 that we see here. And then Porsche goes and does something completely shocking and bizarre with no information pre or after as to why they did that, and that's, as you see here, the lack of the red strip that we're used to seeing, especially on the 4S generation models. This is the 997 that you see here in front of you, the first generation of the 997, where it completely dropped the back saber light, as I like to call it. Porsche quickly realized the error of their ways and reintroduced the light in the 0.2 generation of the 997, but in a different format. They changed it, they made it smaller, not running with the traditional same size of the backlights all the way through. It wasn't something that I personally like. It's something that I think takes time for me to grow to like, but at least it is there in some format. They continued with it, but on a smaller scale with the 911.1. I think they knew what was coming with the 992, and they were sort of getting customers and people's eyes used to the new design philosophy of the lights. Again, happy to see it, but my point is the 996 was the last generation that had that traditional light on the back that ran all the way through from 1970s all the way to the 996. The second feature I want to talk about on the C4S 996 generation are these beautiful, very useful and functional slats. I talked about them previously, and they help dissipate the built-up air pressure from the rear tires and also the heat generated from the exhaust rear boxes, which you can just about see through. All right, so let's trace their heritage, and they come off a very unique and beautiful car.
They were first introduced on the 959, a true icon, a sports legend till today. And you have to remember, this car was way ahead of its time with technologies like no other, and beautifully shaped with the air. You can see with the built-in rear spoiler and the diffusers and the ducts in the back. And to put things into context, the next time we see those rear vents make an appearance is actually on the 996. No previous models from the 993, 964 had these rear vents in the back. And that's a very telltale sign. And of course, they carried on with the 997 and all the other turbo models that came after that, leading all the way to the 992. Go back on the 996 on the 4S generation, and that's why it's even more telling that the design team really paid attention and put design cues that were only held for the turbo and sort of exclusive special models in the range, and they put all these design features on this non-GT, non-turbo model, which again adds to that iconic status and should cement the C4S 996 even more so as a valuable, appreciating classic. When you think of the 911Rs of newer generations and the GT3 Tourings, they all share very similar design cues and features, and yet they are somehow held in high regards. Whereas this car really had very unique design cues like we spoke about today and highlighted. So yeah, I hope you guys appreciate this little video that I made. It's just one of those features that I'm constantly thinking about, and like so many other 996 owners, we want this car to be appreciated for what it really is. So till next time, thanks for the comments. Please keep them coming. Let me know what you guys want to see in the next video, and I'll make sure to keep posting. Much love.